Rosario Dawson and Sienna Gualori took to the front row at Moschino's latest fashion show in Milan for the label's Spring-Summer 2008 collection. The actresses were treated to a range of typically youthful designs from the Italian brand. Models entered the all-white catwalk through the bottom of a huge white dress, wearing mainly short-hemmed outfits. Designs included frill-hemmed jackets, skimpy puffball shorts, silk-edge PVC max and a transparent baby doll dress edged with mohair. The collection, designed by Rossella Giardini, Moschino's creative director, managed to keep the label's playful ethos while delivering designs that were soft and feminine. Outfits were mainly awash with one colour. The palette was simple, with a backbone of mainly greys, blacks and whites, with splashes of red, purple and blue. Floral silk tunics and boldly coloured abstract prints accompanied bamboo fibre dresses adorned with huge flowers in Angela Missoni's Spring-Summer 2008 show in Milan. Sleek shorts worn with jackets are emerging as a must for the summer. Mirrored studs are everywhere, on skirts, long dresses, sleeves, tunics and belts. Where there are no mirrors, there's embroidered squares of crystal, semi-precious stones and multicoloured beading. Sandals are also studded with jewels and heels glitter with gold and ivory chains. The multicoloured knit stripes, for which Missoni are world-renowned, continue to be woven into the latest collection. But after the show, Rosita said that her daughter Angela, who took over as chief designer in 1996, has created a younger look for the brand.
I think my daughter got the passion to carry on this work, and I think she does it. I'm very proud of her. And I think she does it with great joy, enthusiasm, and I can see a new Missoni which is young, which is there is tradition, but there is a lot of future, and I like the use of color that she does, the use of textures, and all the new researches, which I mean are important for their future and for mine too.
'94 was the last year that the Spring-Summer collections were held in the Louvre Museum's Cours Carré in Paris, the international fashion temple. Over 1,000 models are here to show off the work of the most prestigious fashion designers. Journalists and selected guests were able to admire this summer's fashion trends and attend the prestigious runway shows featuring the world's top models.
I finally got one.
I was in Australia, New York, Milan, Berlin, and now I'm in Paris.
In an increasingly difficult economic climate, certain designers have had to stretch their limits, almost to the edge of immodesty, with outfits that are more than a little revealing. This season, the trend is for originality. In John Galliano's world, nothing is taboo. Like Galliano himself, his runway show is over the top, totally anti-conformist, and tinged with his own particular British humor. As in A Midsummer Night's Dream, for John Galliano, all the world is a stage, and on the fashion stage, it's Galliano himself who is both directing and playing the starring role. Born in Gibraltar, Galliano started in fashion in 1984 after graduating from London's well-known St. Martin's College. His first French show contained all the seeds of a stunning career for this British designer who would very soon win over Paris's elite fashion world.
They kind of like sensuous fabrics, wonderful colors, and you know.
You think you're leading a new movement?
No, I just do what I believe in.
What else do you believe in?
The joy of dressing. The joy of dressing.
French fashion needed this type of extravagance to shake up the self-satisfaction of its traditional designers. John Galliano knows how to free women from the constraints that burden their wardrobes. We'll come back to this point later. Promise. A fashion show is a real performance that has to contain some magic. Nothing is therefore left to chance. Hundreds of hours of preparation, makeup, rehearsals, and hairstyling go into presenting a garment that will only be seen on the podium for a few seconds.
Wine. Yeah, go for the lunches, go drinking wine.
In the wings, a few minutes before the show begins, Kate Moss, the superstar of the wafer-thin models, is talking about French food. Probably her way of overcoming the stress. Another model, Yves Saint Laurent, Jean-Paul Gaultier's formerly shaven-headed muse, talks to us about herself.
I'm a human being. I'm from Canada, from Montreal.
Can you tell us about your tattoo?
When I went to get a tattoo, I had no idea what I wanted. I picked up a magazine and this was in it. It was done by a Yakuza, a member of the Japanese mafia in Japan, in Tokyo. I don't like hair. I don't like the way it feels. In the modeling world, turning up with a shaved head was all about the shock value. Thank God it worked. But it was really about feeling good.
Regardless of the model's own look, it's the designer's privilege to transform them as they see fit, something they have no qualms about doing.
What Gaultier does most of the time is really my thing. That's probably why I'm in his shows.
It's a mix of a lot of things, different ethnicities, a medieval look that has come a long way. It's about Africa, India, the colonizers and the colonized, and it all works well together. That's what I've always done in my collections. If there is a message, it would be the mix of types, ethnicities, cultures. A real melting pot. I love what I do, and I think you can always find the answers. You can't act like an ostrich with your head in the sand. On the contrary, it's during periods of crisis that you have to do more and find the answers and have fun. You have to make people dream. Does that hurt your nose?
No, not at all.
Another world, that of Thierry Mugler. Backstage, the same procedures, the same rituals, and yet the result is going to be completely different. Mugler has opted for a short, body-hugging look. He wants his bodies to be bent, broken, and wrapped in steel and leather, like something out of a comic strip. To make sure that every detail has been attended to, the master himself is adding the final touches to a makeup or to a hairstyle, because everything has to be perfect. The fully prepared models are about to enter on stage to the delight of their expert admirers.
Are your clothes inspired by the music?
Music is one of my first inspirations, as the rhythm is very important, along with the architecture of the dress. You need rhythm, movement, a clash of the extremes, and the rhythm helps you keep that up. At least that's how I work. It's all about rhythm.
As for an actor on the stage, the runway show is the ultimate goal of the fashion designer, the concretization of all they do.
My favorite moment is when the show begins. You've done so many pictures, drawings. I construct my shows entirely on paper. It's like making a film. It's completely abstract because the clothes are spread around among the different workrooms. So are the accessories. The girls aren't here. Everything is completely theoretical, and then all of a sudden, it all comes together.
A photo session with Yves Saint Laurent and his most loyal partner, Loulou de la Falaise, for whom fashion is a family institution.
I love Saint Laurent because it's so classic, it's so chic, but also the new fashion's fun because it's very wearable and it's very young and it's very relaxed, you know? So it's good. I like it.
You like to dress down?
I like to dress up and I like to dress down. I mean, I like to sort of just feel comfortable in my own skin, really.
An emblem of French fashion, Yves Saint Laurent has nevertheless not allowed himself to become boxed in by tradition. Like the younger generation of designers, he's also playing at being provocative. This summer, Saint Laurent dresses and trousers are getting shorter. The trend is way above the knee. A show that is very sought after, as he will, as usual, be closing the collection. Loyal and prestigious guests, Robert Altman, Anouk Aimée, Paloma Picasso, are about to discover this summer's Saint Laurent. No less than 8 collections a year spread over 3 brands for Karl Lagerfeld, 4 collections for Chanel, 2 for the Lagerfeld brand and 2 for Chloe. A pace that requires an overactive imagination. This year, it looks like he's lost his head to Marie Antoinette. For the Lagerfeld show, the designer has decked out his models, including Claudia Schiffer and Kate Moss, with gigantic wigs in the form of chandeliers. Established in Paris since the late 1950s, the talented Karl Lagerfeld is also an extremely attractive figure. Modern and free-thinking, he cultivates elegance and inspires deference and respect. He joined Patou in 1958, and it was only much later, in 1983, that he joined Chanel.
I love to make a general statement with this ephemeral look. It was also done to accentuate the long line with high heels and the height in the hairstyles, which gives the impression of slimness, making the girls look taller than even the tallest boys in the room. It's the triumphant female, but in the best sense of that term. Not in the aggressive, sexy style of the 1980s, but in a more elongated way, a more literary way, if you like.
It's a very thought-out collection.
I hope so. But thought out through instinct and intuition, which is another type of intelligence.
Very optimistic, too.
Why not? I'm very lucky and I can't complain. I can do what I want, where I want, and in the best conditions. It also changes your way of life. I don't have to struggle with anyone. I say I want to do this, and I do it. If I make a mistake, that's my problem, not theirs.
Hi, I am Jodie Kidd. We are at the first ever India Fashion Week.
For the first time in the history of Indian fashion, designers came together in August 2000 to take part in the ready-to-wear Lakme Fashion Week. The collections range from traditional saris and kurtas to very Western silhouettes.
It's just been great to see the new talent come through. It's also been great to see the established designers, cement the fact that they are talented and creative.
In India, the fashion industry is not as developed as the West. We've taken a proactive stand. For the first time, we've come together and really making an effort to form the structure around the designer.
I think the nice thing about Indian fashion is that women still wear Indian clothes. We haven't lost our identity. They're slightly westernized, and I think Indian designers should promote what India has, which is some of the greatest fabrics in the world, some of the best handwork, embroidery-wise, and some of the most interesting colors can be found here.
For centuries, Indian craftsmanship inspired designers all over the world with its refined, handmade fabrics and rich embroideries. Even today, when it comes to handmade detailing, designers send their orders to India.
I have always used India as a great source of inspiration. Of course, all my embroideries, as you know, are all made in India. Today, they do just an extraordinary quality work. Any house today, everybody, Italy, France, all the embroideries come from India.
I love India, obviously. I mean, my heart is down there, so it's always an inspiration. All the embroideries that we do are from India. So they're all made and handed in India. So all the beading work, I mean, I can call them, and these people sit there with diamonds one after another and do them by hand.
When you look at the incredible workmanship that you can find in India and the archives, when we look through embroideries and beadings, they're remarkable. And I think attention to detail.
In 1991's Battle of the Sexes, it was a man who designed a woman's handbag of choice.
In Europe, a man carries a handbag, but here in America, they don't. And it's funny that men appreciate the handbag a lot.
He revolutionized the handbag of the early 90s with his artistic vision and whimsy, and developed an accessory line that combined a love of exotic textures with a sense of humor and wit. Come inside the workrooms of Brazilian Carlos Falchi.
I was born in Brazil, and I lived in Brazil up to 18 years old, and I worked in Brazil at the post office, my first job, and I ended up designing stamps for the government. So, and after that, I came here in a vacation in Fort Lauderdale. You know, I saw the movie and said, well, I gotta go see all those girls. So I came here, and I loved it. So I decided to stay here. So Brazil is hot, Brazil is sex, that's what Brazil is all about. It's color, yeah, and the product is that way.
Falchi's Brazilian style caught the attention of his famous neighbors, jazz greats Miles Davis and Herbie Hancock, whose wife suggested that Falchi sell his unique bags. And the rest is history.
In those days, handbags were very much classics, you know, the black, brown, and white. But yeah, I was trying to break that rigidity of a handbag maker that was constructed, and it was very rigid, and it was like and it was heavy. The bags were so heavy, I grabbed the bag, it weighed a ton. So I was trying to make it as light as possible, and I start by the drawings, you know. Basically, I sit and paint all day long, and if it's little sketches or whatever. That is like the essence, it's like a perfume. So from there, I will extract a handbag, or a fabric pattern, or a belt, but all initiates from that first painting. I'm always folding things. They all tease me because every time I grab something, I'm draping or folding, or I'm always doing that. I'm a shape fanatic. I drive my showroom nuts, and the business part of the business crazy, because We do have close to 6,000 items in the line, so it's like,
By 1991, Falchi's label ranged from lingerie to swimwear, but each collection maintained the signature Falchi style.
It's fun to be an accessory designer designing those accessories that the women wears. And for me, it's no rules. It's no rules to making anything. I can make anything, and you can wear anything. To me, that's my philosophy.
Well, it's the best male pop album, and I'm very happy. I'm excited, and I don't know if I'm gonna win, but I'm gonna enjoy the whole night a lot.
Well, nominations are always, are fine, great, but let's say that I'd rather prefer to win them.
It means a lot, you know. Like I think our music is that the people is understanding it, and we feel happy. Also, we feel happy that we're gonna play here.
I'm very proud and excited to be here. So I cross my finger, but you never know.
Nah, actually, but every time, on the Grammys, when you're nominated for a Grammy, that means that, you're doing a great job on the music side. So it means a lot for everybody.
To become one of us. If so, then you must sing our song. If you don't, we just can't get along. Come on, let's all be friends, sing along.
Important. I don't want to. It's certainly not here to guilt anyone, but for us, or certainly, I'll speak for myself as I get older. It's entertainment and the good life we've been fortunate to experience is not enough, and we've had the luxury of travel, and that travel has told us that there's people there's senseless things going on, and there's people who need help, and one person with an idea can start something and can bring a spotlight on to other areas that need it. And the idea that we can parlay this nice time for us and turn it into something that will bring light to an issue and will help others with straight hard cash is a rewarding thing for us.
one can't get away from the group.
It was disappointing when the film, you know, didn't do well, you know, on its opening weekend in America. But it's like, you know, but at the same time, my movies have always done twice in other countries comparatively to what they've done in America. And then, you know, I just think ultimately in America, people didn't want to see 2 movies in the course of one night, you know, and so we've rectified that, and here we go.
I think the audience was, you know, 20-minute standing ovation. I mean, and it is a Quentin Tarantino movie, which is what I've always wanted, and I think the world wants it too, and the world wants to see a Robert Rodriguez movie. So I think we're ready to rumble.
You know, it's funny, I've definitely had moments like that through this whole process. The red carpet was a little bit more like that. The standing ovation was sort of, there was so much energy that you could, it wasn't like you didn't know what was going on. It was obvious people were just moved, and I mean, I felt like a lot of that was Quentin. Like, these people loved Quentin, and it was sort of like watching a family member win an award.
Many people have read the books and sort of know the stories very well, but not everybody has. So we kind of want to get the level of interest up before we launch it in December. I secretly really wanted to play it when I first read them, and it was only just a matter of luck that actually the timing came out and worked perfectly well for me to do it. So it's just, you know, it's one of those great characters.
It feels very good. I mean, it was only 10 minutes, but it's you know, it's. I hope, you know, people will enjoy the whole thing, and you know, it's very magical and full of weird creatures and a deep thing too. It's not only about you know, aesthetics and things like that. It's an intelligent piece.